हरे कृष्णा। तो आप सभी का स्वागत है हमारे इस वेरी वेरी वंडरफुल सेकंड सेशन ऑफ द इमोशनल मैनेजमेंट प्रोग्राम। एंड जो अभी आपने ये कीर्तन सुना, बहुत ही ज्यादा मेलोडियस एंड वंडरफुल कीर्तन, ये हो रहा था एक्चुअली लंदन में। तो जिस तरह से इस ब्यूटीफुल चैंटिंग ऑफ दिस हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र पे वहां पे सभी लोग कितने एक्सटेसी में डांस कर रहे थे, इस कीर्तन में अपने आप को पूरा रम गए थे उस कीर्तन में। तो उसी हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र से एक ऑस्पिशियसनेस क्रिएट करते हुए मैं आप सभी का स्वागत करना चाहूंगा। और मैं आपसे भी रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आप भी मेरे साथ चैंट करें बाय लाउडली चैंटिंग, रेज योर बोथ हैंड्स एंड चैंट विथ मी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। तो सबसे पहले आप सभी से एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप सभी काइंडली प्रयास कीजिए कि आप अपना कैमरा ऑन रखें ताकि ये सेशन और भी इंटरैक्टिव हो सके एंड जो हमारे स्पीकर हो उनको भी आपसे इंटरेक्ट करने में बहुत इजी हो। यस, वेरी गुड इवनिंग। एंड मैं आप सभी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, लेट्स मेक इट अ डिफरेंट थिंग। कैसे हम ग्रीट करें? लेट्स सी योर एनर्जी एंड योर एंथुजियाज्म इन द चैट बॉक्स व्हेन यू राइट हरि बोल। तो कितना जल्दी चैट हरि बोल से फ्लड हो सकता है एकदम, वो एक बार मैं देखना चाहूंगा। कितने लोग यहाँ एक्टिव हैं, फटाफट हरि बोल कितना फास्ट आ सकता है चैट बॉक्स में। ओके, सो चैट बॉक्स इतने देर में पूरी तरह से स्पैम हो चुका है हरी बोल से। वेरी नाइस, हरी बोल। सो सबसे पहले मैं आप सभी का वेलकम करना चाहूंगा। थैंक यू सो मच। उम्मीद है आप सभी को हमारा पहला सेशन पसंद आया होगा। एंड आज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोग्राम जो है, और आज भी बहुत एक इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक कवर करेंगे। एक ऐसा चीज जो अनअवॉइडेबल है, दैट इज रिलेशनशिप। आपके लाइफ में सब तरह के रिलेशनशिप है, मदर फादर से, भाई बहनों से, दोस्तों से, कलीग से, बहुत डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ रिलेशनशिप्स है। और कैसे आप उन रिलेशनशिप्स में परफेक्टली आप एक्सेल कर सकते हैं, ये आज हम सीखेंगे। तो सबसे पहले मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा सभी का जो यहाँ पे आए हैं। और उसके साथ साथ स्पेसिफिकली मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा एसआरसीसी की प्रिंसिपल मैम प्रोफेसर सिमृत कौर जी का। और उसके साथ साथ जो हमारे आत्मन टीम के कन्वीनर मैम हैं, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर मिस संतोष मैम। सो मैं उनका भी धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा, उनकी वजह से ये सब पॉसिबल हो पा रहा है। वी आर वेरी डिलाइटफुल कि वो हमें ये सब इस प्लेटफॉर्म को उन्होंने हमें दिया और इतने सारे हम स्टूडेंट से कनेक्ट कर पा रहे हैं उनकी वजह से। और उसके साथ साथ मैं मिस्टर जतिन जो कि चीफ कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं आत्मन टीम के, उनका भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ। उन्होंने मिलके ये सब चीजों को सक्सेसफुल बनाया है हमारे साथ कोऑर्डिनेट करके, एंड द होल आत्मन टीम, मैं उसका भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। थैंक यू सो मच। एंड इसी एनर्जी के साथ अब हम स्टार्ट करेंगे। बट स्टार्ट करने से पहले आज आप सभी के लिए एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट वीडियो शो रहेगा, एक छोटा सा आप लोग के लिए, एक स्मॉल वीडियो अबाउट श्रील प्रभुपाद, जिन्होंने ये जो इस्कॉन के अंडर आप जो ये प्रोग्राम अटेंड कर रहे हैं, ये प्रोग्राम आया कहाँ से, हु इज द ओरिजिन ऑफ इस्कॉन, द फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद। तो उनके ऊपर हम एक स्मॉल वीडियो देखेंगे एंड हाउ what all struggles he faced and how he created this ISKCON। एक शॉर्ट वीडियो से हम जानने का प्रयास करते हैं। आइए वो वीडियो देखते हैं।
A 70-year-old devotee of Krishna went to America in a cargo ship in 1965, and after an enormous struggle, he established an institution with a handful of young Americans. With them, he started this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Within the short span of 11 years, Srila Prabhupada not only spread this movement practically through all the countries of the world, but he established 108 temples in all the major cities of the world. And this is how we can see that in order to fulfill his prediction Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reserved the credit to one of his most intimate devotee, and that is His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
The Krishna consciousness movement is not for the wretched, unfortunate class of men. No. It is meant for the most fortunate man. Anyone who has taken to Krishna consciousness, he is to be considered as the most fortunate man because he has got the line of action, how his life will be perfect. Therefore, anyone who is in Krishna consciousness and discharging the duties nicely, he is the most fortunate.
हरे कृष्णा। सो कैसा लगा आप सभी को ये वीडियो? आप चैट बॉक्स में अगर आपको अच्छा लगा तो फटाफट टाइप कीजिए हरी बोल। चैट में आप फटाफट टाइप कीजिए। ओके, हरी बोल। तो ये वीडियो से हमें ये सीखने को मिला कि कैसे हम हमारे जो फाउंडर आचार्य इस्कॉन के श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने उन्होंने कितना कष्ट लिया फॉर द प्लेजर ऑफ द लॉर्ड। उन्होंने ये हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र द टीचिंग्स ऑफ भगवत गीता को पूरे वर्ल्ड में स्प्रेड करने के लिए ही टुक सो मच स्ट्रगल ऑन हिम। एंड 70 साल की एज में उन्होंने जद्दूल से ट्रैवल किया। एंड रास्ते में उन्हें 2 बार हार्ट अटैक भी आया एंड इट वाज अ वेरी क्रिटिकल सिचुएशन कि थर्ड अटैक आते ही एंड ही वुड हैव पास्ड अवे, बट स्टिल ही हैड फेथ इन कृष्णा। ऐसे स्ट्रेसफुल सिचुएशन में ही रिमेन काम। सो स्ट्रेसफुल सिचुएशन से याद आया कि हमारा पहला जो सेमिनार था, जो हमारा पहला सेशन था, वो स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट पे था। सो यहाँ पे मैं सबसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आपने उसमें से कोई की पॉइंट जो आपको बहुत अच्छा लगा हो, एनी की पॉइंट जो आपने उससे सीखा हो, फटाफट चैट बॉक्स में टाइप कीजिए। लेट्स सी, लेट्स सी योर रिवीजन। ओके, बीकॉम इज वेरी इजी वन अपार्ट फ्रॉम बीकॉम। बीकॉम बहुत ही ज्यादा कैची है, प्रभु जी ने बहुत अच्छा चीज बताई है। तो ये बहुत कैची। इसके अलावा, बीकॉम के अलावा एनीबॉडी, कोई एनीथिंग डिफरेंट जो आपको अच्छा लगा उस सेशन में, या आपने आपने उसमें से कुछ कीवर्ड कैच किया हो या प्रभु जी ने जो बताया हो? यस, डू योर बेस्ट एंड लीव द रेस्ट। एग्जैक्टली। ओके, बीकॉम। यस, स्ट्रेस इज द पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ। एग्जैक्टली। यस, ब्यूटीफुल आंसर्स। लीव एवरीथिंग ऑन कृष्णा, डू योर बेस्ट एंड लीव द रेस्ट। एग्जैक्टली। सो ये सब हमने जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टीचिंग्स उसमें से सीखी, स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट, ये सारा सारा कुछ हमारा आज के सेशन में भी एक बहुत ही अच्छा इसका एक निचोड़ मिलेगा आपको, क्योंकि रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट इतना इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है। आई गेस हमारे इस चैट लिस्ट में जो लोग हैं एंड इनफैक्ट इस वर्ल्ड में जो लोग हैं, कोई भी इस टॉपिक से बच नहीं सकता। सभी कोई इस टॉपिक से इन्फ्लुएंस्ड है। यस, बिलीवर इन कृष्ण, राइट। सो सभी इस टॉपिक से इन्फ्लुएंस्ड है क्योंकि रिलेशनशिप्स आपके लाइफ में, वेदर इट बी विद पेरेंट्स, वेदर इट बी विद फ्रेंड्स, किसी के साथ भी हो, आप लाइफ में कभी रिलेशनशिप से बच नहीं सकते। ऐसा नहीं कि ऐसा कोई व्यक्ति नहीं जिसका कोई भी रिलेशनशिप ना हो। सो स्ट्रेस आप अलग अलग तरीके से, अलग अलग लोगों से भी आपका स्ट्रेस आता है। इन भगवत गीता देर इज मेंशन्ड थ्री टाइप ऑफ कैलामिटीज। थ्री टाइप ऑफ कैलामिटीज भगवत गीता में, कैलामिटीज के बारे में पहला आता है आदि भौतिक, आदि दैविक और आध्यात्मिक। तो जो आदि भौतिक क्लेश है और आदि दैविक और आदि आध्यात्मिक, ये आध्यात्मिक क्लेश वो है जो आप खुद अपने लाइफ में फेस फेस करते हैं, और जो आदि भौतिक क्लेश है वो लोगों की वजह से, जो आपके पीयर प्रेशर्स है, जो आपके आपके संबंधी हैं, आपका जिनके साथ रिलेशनशिप, आपके पेरेंट्स, आपके फ्रेंड्स, आपके कलीग्स, इनकी वजह से जो आपके लाइफ में इन्फ्लुएंसेस आते हैं, ये होता है आदि भौतिक क्लेश। ये भगवत गीता भी कवर करती है, और इस चीज को एक बहुत ही कैची वे में आप लोगों के सामने मोल्ड करके आज प्रभु जी हमें लेक्चर देंगे। सो ओके, जस्ट अ सेकंड until Prabhuji joins. So, जैसा कि आज जो हमारे स्पीकर हैं, he's having a very busy schedule right now. He's coming from Gurgaon and he'll be coming to ISKCON Delhi Temple, and then he'll be joining the Zoom session, and from that he'll give another lecture here. Then he has more seva to do. So he has a very very hectic schedule. So उस schedule के वजह से it is getting a bit late. Until then, how about we all listen to Kirtan for a few minutes more? Anybody interested? यहाँ पे interested लोग हैं chat में, you can write Hari Bol. We can listen to the melodious Kirtan once again. Not a long time. I'll not take you much time. We'll start very soon, very very soon. We can listen Kirtan for 5 minutes. Again, we'll get into the mood of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Then we can start. Okay, I guess everybody is interested for the Kirtan. Let me just play it once again. Just
please chant with me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Okay, so the wait time is finally over. I guess हमें कीर्तन बाद में सुनना पड़ेगा because जिस चीज के लिए हम लोग सभी यहाँ इकट्ठा हुए हैं, द वंडरफुल लेक्चर ऑन द रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट, प्रभु जी हमारे बीच में आ चुके हैं। एंड जस्ट बिफोर आई वेलकम प्रभु जी, मैं प्रभु जी का एक ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन आप सभी को देना चाहता हूँ, और जस्ट फॉर माई प्योरिटी। Prabhuji needs no introduction. Prabhuji is a very profound example of sheer excellence, both in spirituality and materially. Basically, Prabhuji is MBA postgraduate, and he has worked with very big companies. Also, he has worked as director in India operations in Publicis Worldwide, which is a French company. And Prabhuji is a very senior preacher in ISKCON Delhi. And under Prabhuji, youths and very congregational devotees are practicing this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and developing their life more and more through spirituality. And Prabhuji is here to guide. The same guidance we'll get in this 1 hour. So we are very fortunate that Prabhuji is with us. And we will all welcome Prabhuji by loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji. You are audible.
So let us recite the Mangalacharan prayers before we start today's discussion. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Savdaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakha Nivritamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakant Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desha Tarine. Hare Krishna. The topic for today's discussion is relationship management. First of all, we need to understand the age we all are living in. This is not Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, or any other golden age as per the previous ages. It has been addressed as Iron Age or Kali Yuga. So, the time we live in, we all have influence in our life of the circumstances, of the time, surroundings we all are living in. So, this age of Kali Yuga is known as where hypocrisy is on heights. We all can relate with this. No? People do sin and they live the sinful life, but they want to hide this sinful life. They don't want to be exposed. So we are living in such age which is full of hypocrisy. Now, our expectations are that we must get perfect in our life, whether it's a person, situation, or anything, any object, any achievement. We all want perfection, but we all have darker sides of our life, which means there is a imperfection in our lives. Like there is an animal by the name of porcupine. Porcupine is full of many quills. You know. And the moment you try to catch porcupine, these quills bite us, they pinch us. So it is a cover by the nature given to the porcupine. Every species has some unique ability with them in this nature. But the porcupine animal, it lives in a very cold environments, very cold countries. So when the comes, what happens is they need to stay close to each other, this community of porcupines, to give warmth of their body to each other so that they can survive. But what happens is the moment they come closer to each other, the quills of each other pinches them. It bites them. But when they go far, because of the cold, they die. They can't survive. Now, if they look for the perfection, they won't be able to survive. And if they tolerate, they'll be able to maintain their existence. So, similarly, in this age of hypocrisy, this Kali Yuga, which is a Vedic name of this age, when you go close to the people, you will see the hypocritical nature in them. You will find many imperfections in them. And our expectations are that everyone we come close to, they should be completely perfect. And when we see the imperfections in each other, we try to live, we try to go far from them, or we try to live secluded. But when you live in seclusion, what happens is our hypocrisy increases. We become more hypocritical. And when we go close to the people, we find faults, we see mistakes, we see their selfish natures, we see they are with us not because of us, but because of the advantages or benefits they derive from us. So we need to remember the example of porcupines actually. Despite they all have quills, but for their survival, they need each other. So here the point is actually whether I should live the life of I domain. And I domain means only me, nobody else is there. Whether I should live the life of I domain or I should go in a domain of we. But when we go in a domain of we find that imperfections are existing. And when we come in I domain, you can't live. As it is said, no? Man is a social animal. We must have heard this statement of man is a social animal. But nowadays, it is not seen that we are no more social nowadays, because we all are so much occupied, busy with our aspirations, ambitions, and goals of our life that we all are behaving like robots. We all are behaving like machines. But although our body is like a machine, but we are not machine. We are full of emotions. So this quadrant of our life, that emotional fulfillment, is lacking in every individual nowadays, because we hardly have a time to spend with each other. So the saying says man is a social animal, but hardly we are nowadays social. No matter it is age of social media, but there also we are highly insecure people actually, because we our security depends on how many people like me, how many people subscribe me, how many people are commenting positively on me. So which means our worth is decided actually by others, not by us. This is why we are expecting from others that they should rate us, no, they should like us, they should share some positive comments about us. So hardly we are social nowadays, no matter we are in age of social media. It is unable to replace that need of being social for every human being. So we are hardly social. So when you remove the being social from this sentence, what remains? So man becomes not social animal, but man becomes animal. So we all are behaving like animals nowadays, just living an animalistic life. Maybe we find animals with the four legs. We all have a two legs. So Shastra says we are two-legged animals, suited, booted, polished, two-legged ones, because we are behaving like that. So the problem is we are trying to get so much externals in our life, like in a household life, in a home. People make the center of the home is kitchen. So people buy kitchen set, and then we need a dinner set to honor what we have cooked, to fill our bellies. So we need kitchen set, dinner set, but hardly we think about mindset. So the missing element in our life is the mindset actually. And we can see, because this mindset is missing, mindset means the attitude actually. So what values in our life is the attitude, and that we have hardly worked upon. We have only worked upon our competence, talents, skills. But no matter how many talents, skills, or competence we may have, but the attitude is something different which you cannot get it from outside actually, which you have to work upon to change yourself, like remaining positive in mid of calamities of life. No matter there may be disasters, there may be failures in our life, one after another. But how many of us are remain positive despite seeing failures in our life, despite seeing that the results, outcomes are not in our favor? Still, we are ready to struggle. Hardly, actually, hardly people you will find that we become so much discouraged, even a small thing going against in our life, we are morose, lamenting, we have grudges in our life. So this is actually talking about our mindset only. So we are getting so much external things in our life, but we hardly bother about our own mindset. Actually, the standards of the wealth has changed completely. The wealth is considered to how much you possess, how much you have acquired in your life. So the standards of wealth has completely changed. But the wealth as per the Vedic culture or as per the scripture says is wealth is such a substance with such an element which you cannot purchase with the money. Now, if you look at with this parameter, how many things you have in your life which you cannot purchase from money? Can you count that actually? How many things we have in our life which you cannot purchase from money? You will find hardly few things. And if you have more things in your life which you cannot purchase from money, you are very wealthy person. And if you are struggling to find what I have which I cannot buy from money, we are poverty stricken. So the whole world, by this standard, is living a life of a poverty only. People are actually in scarcity of this standard. So the problem in our life is we hardly bother to change or work upon ourselves. We want to change people around us, we want to change surroundings around us, but hardly we bothered about changing ourselves. And when you try to change circumstances, now Gita, Krishna talks about manastiti. Manastiti means the mindset, actually, the attitude, manastiti. But we try to change paristiti, the conditions, which you actually cannot control, which you cannot actually change. Because there is a law of karma. We all are destined to receive certain amount of happiness and certain amount of distress in our life. That quota is actually pre-decided. So we all are destined to receive some insults, some embarrassments, some pain of the heart, and some pleasures. Many times you may be able to relate with this. I have observed many times in my life and lives of other people also. I have seen that. We may not be working very hard from our heart, but the success falls on our lap by its own, by hardly working hard for it. And sometimes we are perspiring, working hard, struggling, but we see the failure coming to us despite our hard work and all. So that means there is an element of destiny in our life. The law of karma is working above all of us. So you can't change the externals. We all are destined to live in certain types of external situations. Like we can't choose our parents, where we will be born actually, who will give birth to us, what kind of a culture will you take birth. We can't choose that. No. So we are given that, but who chooses this? Who awards this? Somebody is choosing it. Somebody is awarding it to us. It is not that it is our own choice. By choice, we have chosen it. Which home, which culture, which country, which city, what will be the name of my parents, how will they look, what profession will they have, how much wealth will they have. We can't decide that. It is given to us. No, our brothers, sisters, our friends, given to us. Sometimes, people go to their workplaces, and when they go to their workplaces, their superiors, they can't choose whom they will be reporting to. They can't choose. No, I had read one statistics which talks about in London, 70% of the executives dream killing their bosses. Now, just imagine, you can't choose your superiors, whom you will be working for. Now, who had decided that that person only will be superior to you? That person will be, you will be working for. Or such kind of a people you will be forced to live with, whether you like it or whether you don't like it. You are forced to live with them. And you don't see any choice to run away from them. There is no option actually given. So, which means the external circumstances actually cannot be changed. And our problem is actually we all are struggling to change the externals only. How I look, how people see me, know how the external environment is, the people around me. Let me change him, let me change her. She should behave nicely, he should behave nicely to me, he should be good to me, she should be good to me. We all are trying to change something, we are trying to control something which is beyond our control actually. So most of the time, actually, we are investing our energy in something which cannot be changed. So what happens is, at the end of the day, we feel frustrated. We are not satisfied. And we have spent our energy and the valuable time which you cannot bring back. A moment past is lost, cannot be brought back by any amount of money you may pay. So any amount of money spent, you cannot purchase a single nanosecond of your life. And we are spending our energy on something which you cannot change. Isn't it such a foolish step we do in our life? But what we can change is in our control, is our own life. That is our area of influence. No, there are area of concerns in our life, but we can't change the area of concerns actually. That is matter of concern. The people around us, situations around us, what life brings to us. That is a concern area. But you cannot much do about it. But there is an area of influence in your life, which is our own life. The one you see every day in mirror. And that is the area of influence. And we hardly work upon it. And if you do little investment on yourself, and this investment is the investment of changing the attitude, changing the mindset, you can see tremendous results coming you on the way to you. And that can completely change the paradigm for you. It's a paradigm shift for all of us. Like if my glasses are dirty, what I will see is dirty. If my glasses are clean, I will see everything clean. And if I wear a colored glasses, what I see will be tinged with that color. And if I wear the plain glasses, I will see everything transparent. So similarly, we are not just seeing from this eyes of flesh. This is actually a very it's a very mistaken thing that we are seeing from the eyes. No, we see from the eyes of the mind actually. Like when I was doing my management studies long back, we were given one example and case study. And this case study talked about there was a sales manager of a shoe company and very prominent shoe manufacturing company of India. Now they decided to start their operation in some African countries. So they sent their advanced research team to do market research and find the potential in that market for their organization. So these person who were doing the market research and after surveying it for sufficient amount of time, accepting various tools for the study, they sent a report to their headquartered in India. And they said, one, we should not enter in this market. And the reason why they were saying like that was They said because it is so poor, poverty is so much here that people even don't wear shoes. They don't have a money to wear shoes. They're always all the time bare feet. So if we enter in this market, we'll be complete failure. So that company dropped the idea of entering into these countries. But after a few years, management changed, and then they again wanted more business. They again thought of looking for the African market. They again sent their market research team. And this again market research team went and they reported to the headquarter, we will get the tremendous success here. We will get a lot of business here. Our revenues will soar up. Why? Because nobody wears shoes and we have a lot of opportunity to sell them the shoe. So the same situation seen by the two different individuals, perceived differently, understood differently. So we don't see actually from our eyes, we see from our minds. And you will hardly find any information about the mind in our academics or our modern science actually. This is a very big flaw. It's a very big flaw. We are living this life with the mind. No, you may be an introvert person, but let me tell you, we are always associating with our own mind actually. You may not like people around you, you may like seclusions, but you are all the time 24 by 7 till last breath, you are living with your own minds actually. And whatever mind will show you, you will see that. Whatever mind will throw the ideas, thoughts to you, you will ponder upon that. So we have hardly thought about it, we hardly worked upon it, and we are just trying to change the externals. And when you try to change the externals, you find imperfections everywhere. You find imperfections everywhere. So when there is a point to choose between I or we, no, it's a very basic point in a relationship management. Whether I should live a life of I or a we. No, have you seen a broom? No, it's called Seek Jadu. Have you seen that? Seek Jadu? Do you understand Seek Jadu? Yeah. No, Seek Jadu, if you see that, no, there are no all Sikhs are there. And it is tied with a rope. No, it works very well in a rough surfaces to clean. In our temples, we use that actually. So the Sikh Jadu. So the Sikh Jadu, if you open the rope, what happens? The Jadu, the broom is meant to cleanse all the dirt. It's meant to clean all the kachra. But if you just open the rope which has tied all this Sikh, what happens? This broom itself becomes kachra, which is actually meant to cleanse the kachra, becomes the kachra itself. But when all these Sikhs were tied unitedly, they could cleanse the kachra. But when they decided to stay separately, without the help of each other, they all became useless. All useless. Similarly, there is a saying, no, if you want to walk fast, walk alone. If you want to walk far, walk with people. When you want to walk far, you can't walk alone. You need people actually in your life to walk far. You need someone in your life. So, that is the point we are trying to make. So, the beautiful journey of the life will begin from you, from all of us. From all of us, it will begin. So, but the point is, no, what the major problem we see in the relationships is our expectations from the people, our own expectations. There was one gentleman, he used to live in one colony in one big city. And every evening, all the children of that colony used to come together and play cricket. in the street only. And this gentleman, no, he used to do some work which required some peace. But every day he had children yelling, shouting, no, all that noise is coming in his home. And when he used to go to see, they all playing blissfully cricket, bindas, without caring about people actually are disturbing because of their behavior. So he used to think what to do actually to tell them to go run away from him, there that place. He tried his best. He shouted on them, he chastised them, but nothing worked. Every day they used to come and play. He changed his strategy. What he did is he that day when the play ended, he called all the children, gave them 10 rupee cash to each one of them. And they were surprised this fellow was actually shouting on us, and he was actually yelling, chastising, stopping us, and he's paying us 10 rupee. What has changed him? He said, wow, what play you made today now. Wonderful. Such cricket you played. I'm very impressed. The kind of cricket you play now. This is the reward from my side, 10 rupee each to you. And they were very happy to hear this. They are playing such a wonderful cricket and they are being rewarded. So next day again, these children came and this person sat in his balcony and watched the entire match what they were playing. And after the end of the play, he again took out 10 rupee for each one of them and paid them tenors. And they all were happy. This again, he's giving us 10 rupee. Wow. They were very surprised, happy. So third day again, for the full 1 week, he kept giving them 10 rupees. They were very happy. Next week, he increased the reward. Along with the 10 rupee note, he gave them 5-star chocolate to each one of them. And they said, your play is improving now. The way you are playing, your play is incredibly improving. I'm highly impressed. I'm very happy to watch this cricket. So the next week, entire week, every day, he paid 10 rupee to each one of them and 5-star chocolate also to one of them. And then third week came. And this week, when they came with very enthusiasm, now their enthusiasm had increased because they had an audience, and that audience were very rewarding to them, paying them. So they were playing very with the enthusiasm, and this person did not turn up that day to even show to all of them. And they all were waiting under his balcony. Today again he will come and pay us our reward. He used to give us cash prize. But he did not turn up. And they knocked his door. Oh, uncle, where are you? Why are you not coming out? So uncle said, yeah, I'm very happy you came to play. Go on playing. And they looked at each other face. What is he doing? He's not giving us anything. So they, out of shy, they could not ask anything. But the next day, they again turned back. And then when they again next day turned back, played, and they all are looking whether he has come today in balcony or not. But he had not turned. And they were looking each other face also. Will we not today also get anything? So the next day again he came. So again he did not pay anything. And they asked, uncle, why are you not paying us since yesterday? He said, I don't feel like paying you now. And they became so much upset. They said, now we will not come here to play. Our play is not that cheap that you will not pay us anything. We are stopping to play in this street. We will go to next area, next colony, and there we will play. We will not show you our match every day, hard work, free of cost. And they left. And he became successful because they were not leaving that colony and making the noises. And he got his work done. But what problem happened is, or what is the lesson for all of us? When they were not getting anything, they were playing every day religiously. But when they started getting everyday prize, their expectations rose. Their expectations rose now. And that expectation became the standard for them. And now they wanted that. See, previously they were coming for playing the cricket, but now they were coming for the fringe benefits they were getting. And now, not the play actually, but the fringe benefits became the center point, and they became upset because of that. Similarly, in every relation, actually, this happens. When you enter in a relation, whether it's a business relation, whether it's a relation of a teacher or a student, whether it's a life partner's relation or a business partner's relation, you enter in any relation, initially, we are very down to earth. But as we come close, spend time in that relation, what happens is our expectations increase with each other. And it becomes so solidified, it becomes so increased if these expectations are not met. And by the way, we need to understand actually our expectations are not static. This goes on increasing. It goes on increasing. And we need to understand actually a very basic fact why this happens in a human nature. Why we are built like this. That we don't become satisfied with each other the way we are. Why our expectations increases? Because we all want increased happiness every time. We don't want a static happiness or decreasing happiness. It's called Anandam Buddhivardhanam. It is ever increasing happiness we want. So whatever we are doing, we need to understand why we want actually people around us. Because we don't want people, we want happiness which comes from the people. We all are actually after happiness. Whatever we doing, whether we are student, whether we are teacher, whether we are working professional, or a household lady, or an elderly person, or a child, whatever stage of life we all are in, or any species of life, as the Shastra says, there are 8.4 million species of the life in the entire universe. So, whichever species of life one is in, we all are doing whatever we doing is to get happiness in our life. So and this happiness, we always want increased happiness. This is why we want our expectations increases from the people actually. So the problem is between I and we. No. There's a problem in I, you can't live alone. There's a problem in a we, because when you go close to the people, you find imperfections. Now, what we should have is between I and we need God. If you bring God between I and we, such relations will long last, never end. Such relations which are God-centric relations, such relations remain forever. Not only remain, it became sweet and sweeter or sweetest. See, the love is most misused word actually in society. Love is the most misused word. Or name of love, what you find in society is lust, not actually love. The real love means you will be happy in giving happiness to the object of love for you. You'll be happy in the happiness of the person you love or the object you love. but we become happy when we get happiness from other people. So, two people come together because they are looking for happiness from each other. Now, please understand this. We all are imperfects. So, the two imperfect people coming together, they cannot become perfect by coming together. They are going to remain imperfects only. And we are looking for perfection, and the people coming to us are imperfects. So now what happens is we cannot retain such relations because our expectations are something and delivery is something else in our life. So love is a most misused word actually. And also, in case you may say that, okay, I just don't love people, I love God also. But along the way people say, I love God, they also say, I love my dog also. It is not just loving God. We are loving so many things in our life. But let me tell you one thing, no, which can actually change the complete understanding of love for all of us. We all think love is a feeling. This is what we all have been made to understand. Love is a feeling. This is why we run after such feeling. And you can see that love stories sells like a hotcakes. Movies are made on love stories. Novels are written on love stories. Media is full of love stories. This seems to be our inherent need actually. We want to be loved and we want to love. And when we are not loved, we find ourselves not complete. And we also want to love something or someone. And we think it's a feeling. But the feeling word means it has an element of independence. And that's why you can see when you understand love as a feeling, which means you are accepting it as an independence. Like nowadays, there is a trend of live-in relationships. So live-in relationships, we say, bin fere hum tere. No, we don't want to make any commitment actually, but we want to enjoy the benefits of living with each other. So in such independent relations, what happens is we break actually such relations even on a smallest difference of opinion. But actually, what Shastra, scriptures teaches us is love is duty. Love means responsibility. And this understanding actually you will not find in this society. Nowhere. It's all feeling based. But nobody is going to teach us actually love is a duty. Love is a responsibility. It's not just mere the feeling. See, I'll give you one Shastric example to make us understand this. In Mahabharata, it's a very beautiful scripture which talks about a lot of duty in our life, written 5,000 years ago. These Vedic scriptures has so deep insights and such life skills it provides us. The problem is nobody teaching these scriptures to us. Neither actually we are convinced that we should actually study this. So we may be studying our academics, earning all lot of skills and talents and competences. But when you don't understand the life skills and when the challenges come upon us in our life, it is thrown upon us in our life, we miserably fail. No, nowadays days you can see. I recently met one Mataji, one girl. She had come from Japan, no? And she's an Indian. She's working there, and I asked her that how do you find the culture of Japan? And the answer she gave me, I was completely surprised. I never expected that actually. I used to think people must be very happy with the electronics or the economy or the earnings they may have and the fast-paced life. She said, Prabhuji, what I see there is the young generation, especially, is so much depressed. They are so much depressed. And actually, my jaw dropped after hearing it. I said, how come? This seems to be such a powerful country, such a economically powerful nation. How it can be? She said, yes, that is a reality. The young people in the entire Japan are struggling and suffering from mental diseases. They are stressed out, they are depressed, they are victim of mental disorders because actually we are not taught about the life skills. This is the problem. We don't bother to learn about the life skills, but actually you cannot fill your hearts with money, you cannot fill your hearts with the material success or the achievements. So what I'm trying to quote is from Mahabharata, beautiful story of Mother Draupadi. No, Draupadi is an epitome of surrender. And the example of Draupadi, which I'm just going to narrate you, in no other scripture, such insult of women has taken place ever in a Vedic history. She was insulted such a way. I hope you must have heard this, no? But not the way we are trying to explain you. See, in that assembly hall that day, when the Pandavas lost that gambling match, which was a conspiracy, they were very simple and gentle, noble people. Since Emperor Yudhishthir, he had taken a vow that whatever instruction will come from his superiors, he will never say no to his superiors. Because the Ved Vyasji had told Yudhishthira Maharaj that, oh Yudhishthira Maharaj, after 13 years, there is going to be a massive massacre, there is going to be a battle, such deadly battle that so many people on this planet will die because of that battle. And you will be the cause of that battle. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was shocked to hear this. And he said, no, Gurudev, I don't want to be cause of such bloody battle. I don't want to be cause of such murder of so many people. And he took a vow that whatever instruction will come from his superior, he will obey. Blindly he will obey. And this is why Dhritarashtra invited him actually for the gambling match. And Duryodhana knew that if Dhritarashtra invites, he considers him superior, he respects him, and he will obey him. They were so noble, simple, kind-hearted, gentle devotees of the Lord. So Yudhishthira Maharaj went for the gambling match and he was not expert in this. And he was a Dharmaraj, he was fixed on religious principles, but not fixed on gambling principles, such illicit activities. And he lost miserably and he was provoked by that. And being a Kshatriya, he could not withdraw himself. And he was provoked by Shakuni, Karna, and all those mischievous people. And he went on and he kept on putting everything on stake. And finally, he put his wife on stake. And the moment he lost his wife, his all 5 brothers along with him, then Duryodhana kept this demand: bring Draupadi here in the assembly. And please, I mean, we need to understand now, after 5,000 years, you may not find it wrong that women treated like this, because so many crimes are happening on a women nowadays, so many rapes and such molestation taking place, such exploitation taking place. We may not find it awkward, but go back 5,000 years ago, it was not a normal thing. It was something very abnormal happening there. So we need to actually put ourselves in that shoes to understand this pastime, what was happening and what lesson it brings to us on table. So actually, Draupadi, those days actually, she was being dragged from the hairs, and she was in a single cloth, in her no in her own palace where no male was allowed inside. She was dragged miserably, mercilessly in that assembly hall. And when she was brought there, no, everybody's sitting, and she is amazed that she can't expect such treatment. Being a princess, being a queen, the wife of five Pandavas, those who had such virtues, they had so many qualities, and such treatment happening with her. And she was not born like an ordinary child. She was a celestial, she was a celestial woman, and she appeared from a fire of sacrificial fire. And her father Drupad had asked it from those celestial beings that I need such no such daughter who comes with a such religious and such moral and such principles. So Draupadi actually was not an ordinary lady. So, as per the material position and as per the spiritual position, both, she was not an ordinary lady. So, Draupadi, such treatment done, and she is expecting help from five husbands, and all five were so powerful but could not protect her that day. And she looked at the elders of that assembly hall, like Bhishma Dev, like Drona, like Kripa, and they all were very religious people, and they also could not intervene. And Dhritarashtra also was helping his son the Duryodhana, which was conspiring to give pain. Draupadi actually forget this external insult, no, but she could not forget the words spoken that day. Karna openly called her prostitute. She was married to five husbands, and he said, if a prostitute removes the clothes, how much difference will it bring to her? It's an ordinary thing for removing clothes. So she could not forget such words actually. She could forget external insult, but not the pain given to the heart. So later, no, the point I want to bring you to, later in this past time, Draupadi could not forget this. Although they became victorious, Pandavas were ruling. Now they were the emperors, and the Kauravas had died in that battle of Mahabharata in 18 days. Draupadi asked Krishna, oh, she complained Krishna, oh Krishna, I was seeking help from you. I was seeking help from you. But why you did not come to help me, or why you came late actually that way? Krishna came late. No, Draupadi was crying, and she was in dire need of help. She said, why you came late? And Krishna said, I accept my responsibility here. But I accept and I assure, whoever was involved in this act, their wives will cry. Losing their husbands, their wives will cry. You know, when Arjuna enters in this battle, Arjuna actually initially refused to fight. And this is a long story and very beautiful lessons out of it. But he refused. And Krishna told him, Arjuna, I have already decided that nobody will go living from this battlefield. Now you stand there and take credit of killing them. I have already decided nobody is going to survive here. And that's because of Draupadi. And just see, Bhishma was so moral, religious, spiritual person. The way he died is so painful, no? On the bed of arrows. And this was the punishment because he saw Draupadi being, no, she was being insulted there. He also had to suffer this karmic reaction. And Krishna says, I take the responsibility. So, what I'm trying to say is, love is not just the feeling, it is a responsibility. We think love is feeling. Today I love this object, that person. Tomorrow I love this object and that person. No, love is not based on feeling. It is actually lust, not the love. Love requires responsibility. There in America, I had read of this. One lady married one individual and she could not live with that individual for after few more months of marriage. She had registered this marriage in a court, and again she went back to the same court for the filing divorce, and court awarded them divorce. And this lady again went back to the same court to register next marriage. And after few years, she again filed the divorce from the second marriage. And then he married third time. She registered that marriage also. And again she filed the divorce. And like this 28 times, she went to the court. Court became sick of it. She coming again and again. And they wrote a certification, they gave it. They said, whom to whomsoever it may concern. Go marry anyone, divorce anyone. Blanket certificate given. No, this is the feeling based relationships. We can see that. We love someone and tomorrow we fight with that individual. We hate that individual. You know that? This is a principle given in Bhagavad Gita. Rag and Dvesha. Sometime in our life we become attached to something and we start developing hatred for what we actually love. This is called Dvesha. Rag and Dvesha. Because it's a contaminated stage. It's not in pure form. So love is a responsibility, which means when you establish relations, it should be responsible relations. But when we say responsible relations, what it actually means? First, never expect perfection. If you expect perfection, no, you will not find anyone. When only one actually you will find perfect, and that perfect is Supreme Lord only. But from the model beings on this planet, you can't expect perfection. And second thing is, for a responsible relation, we need to learn the art of acceptance. The people we are surrounded with, the things we are given to at our disposal, the life, what it has brought to us. So live with that. This is called the art of acceptance. We don't actually accept what the destiny has brought to us. That's why when the failure comes in life, we feel dejected, rejected. And sometimes people end their life, such valuable life. It's a foolish act. Only a coward people can do this. The bold and strong people face the life what it has brought to you. So we need to learn the art of acceptance, what it has brought to us. And also, we need to learn the art of forgiveness. And this is a virtue actually, forgiving. No, sometimes externally we forgive people or not. Now, when the people come to us and they accept their mistakes or they say sorry to us, we forgive people. But the scars are always there in our hearts. The scars are always there in our heart. The grudges are always there. We can't forget. We can't forget. See, without the spiritual process, you cannot rise above all the grudges of your life. You can't come above. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a example of a king, emperor. He was the successor of Pandavas named Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj was very much devoted to Lord Krishna. Whole life he had been looking, searching Supreme Lord Krishna. So Parikshit Maharaj, something happened in his life. One day he was a very glorious king, very noble king, but Lord had to bring something to his life. So he was cursed by a small Brahmana boy. His name was Shringi. And this Shringi, small Brahmana boy, actually was very insignificant person. And he cursed Parikshit Maharaj that you will die in 7 days, 7 nights. And he's an emperor, pure devotee of the Lord. And he had an ability to counter curse that child. And he had an ability to counter that curse also. But rather than showing any revengeful sentiments or any such action, he accepted it as a destiny and the order of the Supreme Lord that now I should quit this material world. And he went to the bank of Ganges, sat there for 7 days, 7 nights, and kept hearing Srimad Bhagavatam Puran, which is full of the glorification of the Supreme Lord, without stopping for a second. 7 days, 7 nights continuously. And like this, remembering Lord, he departed from this planet and went back to the Godhead Vaikuntha. Now, he was not having a single grudge. No, what happens is, we are so much absorbed in our own thoughts. We always think about what happened with us in past. All the time we think about it. He said this to me, she said this to me, he did this to me, she did this to me, I have worked hard, but I did not get it, I deserved, but there was an injustice. These are thoughts of past actually, all the time. It's going on with us, all the time. Or we are insecure about the future. Oh, what will happen tomorrow? What if I don't score this much? What if I did not get this placement? What will happen to my career? What will happen to my future? How will I survive? How will I maintain? How will I do this? How will I do that? Either you are in past or in future. This is called self-absorption. We are obsessed with self. We are always thinking about ourselves. And this is why there is so much anxiety in our minds. So much anxious insecurity in our minds. Because this self-absorption is not actually sparing us. Not for a second. We are always absorbed. Now, the spirituality says you change the domain. You change the domain from the self-absorption, you become absorbed in thoughts of God. Change it and see the miracle happening to you. It is actually, so many people have been benefited with this. That you become confident, fearless, whatever coming to your life, whatever walking in your life, you actually embracing it happily, smilingly. Despite several reasons for you to be morose or lamenting, still you are happy in your life. Just change this actually obsession with self to obsession to the God. It has solution actually. And this is what Parikshit Maharaj did it actually. He did not think about what Shringi did to me. No, I don't deserve this curse. Why he did this? I should counter this. He did not plan anything. He just absorbed himself in the thoughts of Krishna. He absorbed himself in thoughts of the Shastric pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And he was relieved from all the anxiety. He was relieved from all the insecurities, fears, and he was so bold enough, confident enough, fearless to face death. Nobody can actually face death. We all are fearful of death. Now, one time, Srila Prabhupada, who was the founder of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he was preaching in America. And in one assembly, this is 70s I'm talking about. And he was speaking about the hard fact of life, that we all are subject to death. One day, sooner or later, we don't know, it's very uncertain. We'll all have to leave this body. We can't preserve it forever. You can't maintain this life forever. So one person in audience stood up. He said, Swamiji, you said we are fearful of death, but I am not fearful of death. I am not fearful of death. And Srila Prabhupada said, okay. When you cross road, busy traffic road, before crossing road, do you see left and right or not? He said, yes, Swamiji. I see left and right before crossing road. Prabhupada said, why do you see left and right? Why don't you cross straight without seeing left and right? Because you are also fearful of death. We all are actually. We all are fearful of death. But when from the self-absorption, we absorb ourselves to the God, you will see now this is a paradigm shift. Everything start to change in our life. Everything start to change in our life. So this is why when we have relations, God-centric, principle-centric, value-centric, you will not regret. You will not regret. When the relations has been established on external appearances, external beauty, we will lose this external beauty. We will lose all the whatever is external. And then you have to live with the natures of the people. No? Sometimes we become attracted to the external beauty of the world. Sometimes what? Most of the time, I should say that. Most of the time. We're attracted to the external beauty of the world, no? But this worldly beauty diminishes every time. It doesn't remain same. Now, the law of degradation is working in this material world. You keep any fruit outside of refrigeration, or grape, apple, anything you keep, and see after a few days what happens. No, it starts to shrink. It starts to shrink, and it diminishes finally. It becomes rotten completely. This is law of degradation. Similarly, this law of degradation working upon our bodies also. What to talk about bodies? Bhagavatam says, Kalena balina rajan nangshanti ayur balam smriti. As the time passes, our age diminishes, reduces, our memory reduces, balam, our strength bodily reduces. So this law of degradation is working in this material world where we all are living. But in a spiritual world, there is a law of progression. It's not degradation, but the progression. It increases. Progressively, it increases. So when we are impressed from external appearance or external beauty, degradation law will work. But if you are not attracted to values, principles, you will repent and regret in your life. If our decisions of our life has been made on the externals, we will definitely cry one day. We are actually marrying to the sufferings. We are embracing sufferings because we are living an external life. But when you marry to the values and principle centric life, Take these words in writing. You won't have to regret, repent in your life. But for that, we need the association of such people where we can learn this science, where we can understand this science. Because the birds of the feather flock together. So same birds, feathers flock together. They come and associate with the. So if you actually want to develop the values, principles, virtues which are related with the soul, which are related with inside, then you need such people who can guide you on this path of Krishna consciousness. And such relations made God centric, value centric, principle centric, you won't have to repent and regret. Otherwise, see, for any relation, with this last point, I would like to close discussion here. When we come close to each other, you have to compromise. Like in Sanskrit, no, there is a word called sandhi. Sandhi means two words are joined together. It's called sandhi. But when the sandhi is made, each word has to lose something. And when each word loses something and it joins, becomes a word, meaningful word. Similarly, when we say nama and aste comes together, it becomes namaste. And to become namaste, nama also has to lose something, aste also has to lose something, and then only it can become namaste. Similarly, in this world is full of compromises only. You don't get uncompromised, unalloyed, unadulterated happiness in this world. It will come with the filters. And if you want that unadulterated, unalloyed, unmotivated, uninterrupted happiness, then you have to find that in domain of spirituality. It is not existing in the matter. Matter means compromise. And for our survival and for maintenance, although it has a purpose which will be explained to you in the coming session, it has lot of insights actually. But we are refraining ourselves to the relationship management only. But for that reason, we have to compromise and understand that we all have brought destiny and there will be some sufferings and some enjoyment. Rather than crying and lamenting and losing the opportunities, go on with the life, with the value and principle centric life. I will end this discussion here only. If you have any clarifications required from what we spoke related to our discussion, feel free to ask. Or any comments to share, feel free to make.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful lecture.
Hare Krishna.
And it was so delightful. प्रभुजी ने एक एक टॉपिक को रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट को एग्जांपल्स हमारे शास्त्रिक रेफरेंसेस एंड जो प्रॉपर फिलॉसफीज है उससे कोट करते हुए बहुत ही सिस्टमैटिक वे में ऐसा लग रहा था कि प्रभुजी इज जस्ट प्रेजेंटिंग अ पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन विद हिज माउथ एंड एकदम सिस्टमैटिक एंड सो वंडरफुल लेक्चर. सो सबसे पहले तो हम प्रभु जी का इस चीज के लिए धन्यवाद करेंगे बाय लाउडली चैंटिंग द हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. सो नाउ एज प्रभु जी सेड, अगर आप सब में से किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन है तो काइंडली रेज योर हैंड्स सो दैट we can unmute you and you can ask your questions directly. Any question related to the relationship management, any problem you are facing right now with any your colleagues or friends or something, ऐसा कोई relationship से related आपको dealings में problem हो रहा हो, so you can ask here if anybody has any questions.
Okay, there is
Okay,
a question. There is a question on chat. Can I read that?
yeah, sure, Prabhuji.
It says, why does everyone have the fear of death? In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, it talks about it. And it has been explained that Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu, dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Which means whatever has taken birth will die one day. Because there is a duration of a matter. So our bodies are made of five gross elements, which are earth, fire, water, ether. No? So these five gross elements, everything in this material world is combination of this Panch Mahabhut, five gross elements. And the matter has a expiry date. It expires one day. It cannot be retained forever. It can be retained for some duration of time, but not forever. So, along with our birth, our death also takes birth. It is decided when, where, how we going to die. So, this is why the Shastra and the spiritual path teaches us that, like I have been told that you all are students. If my understanding is correct, you can relate with this. So, like in a student life, we prepare for the final exam. And one day when the final exam comes, which means now you have to test, no, you have to write whatever you understood the whole year. So for the whole year, we prepare, and one day you are scored, you are checked, your understanding. So similarly, life is a preparation and death is an examination. But in the exams, what you may be appearing in your studies, you can again give. You can reappear it. But the death is such an exam, you can't reappear it. It comes without notice, like your exams must comes with a notice. You are told this day of the month, this time, and this place, you will have an exam. But here, the exam of a death, it comes without the notice. But there are notices, subtle notices, but not the gross notice as we may understand. So, since our attachment is with the body, and whatever we are doing in life is with the body, as I said, we are self obsessed. Since we are obsessed with the self and we are relating everything to the body, and we consider ourselves, we are this body. And when you lose that body, which means you losing everything for you. So that is fearful to us. So which means the attachment to the body is making it fearful for us. But you can come above, you can rise above this fear. And in the future sessions, you'll be taught that how you can rise above this fear, not only fear of death, any fear of the life. If you practice that, you can rise above this. Okay. So there is some other question. I'll read that. How
Yes.
to deal with homesickness when a very family person comes to Delhi for studies. So from outstation, you have come to Delhi, and how to deal with the homesickness. I'll say, see, I mean, homesickness means we are separated from our loved ones. In my understanding, that is homesickness. So when you are separated from your loved ones, see, you are separated from your loved ones for few months or few weeks or maybe a year or two. But after that, again, you will go back to your hometowns. You will meet your loved ones again. But even separating from them for few weeks or few months or few years is a painful to us. Think of that day when you will be permanently separated from them and you can't meet them again in your life. And that is death. So even if you don't want to separate, death will forcefully separate us from them. Death will forcefully separate us from our loved ones. So consider that kind of a sickness now. So this is why when we are aware about the reality of the life and we are not in illusion, then no sickness can actually disturb you. What to talk about homesickness? Nothing can morose you. I'm not saying that you will not care about your family members. I'm not saying that you will not care about your loved ones. You will be more dutiful towards them. So, this is what is the benefit of being a God centric life. So, when you live a God centric life, you really care about. See, in my understanding, why we miss people in our life, because the benefits we were getting from them now we will not get in their absence. So it is not the homesickness, it is the benefits we were getting at home. And when you live alone, you don't get that benefits, and this is why you miss that. So in my understanding, uh, when you are in such immense blissful happy life, which only can be gained at the level of spirit, at the level of spirituality, you will not miss anything and you'll be dutiful towards your duties also. So that we should aspire to learn about. Okay, next written is here is, what is the key qualities of a successful relationship manager? So as I mentioned that, but I'll repeat the same things. First of all is never expect perfection from others. So the successful relationship manager will not expect perfection from others, but rather he will expect perfection from oneself. And he will be forgiving. If you can do these two things only, although there is a many list, if you can even do these two things, I can assure you, you will be the most loved person on this planet. We can't forgive, first of all, and we expect perfection from others, and we give pain to ourselves only rather than giving to others. The next written here is, I used to be very happy and stress free in my life, but suddenly the stress has taken over my happiness and I'm overthinking about everything. Well, like when you go out and if it is raining, how do you protect yourself? With an umbrella or a raincoat or a rain suit. So when you wear rain suit or when you take the umbrella, now the rain may be taking place, but you won't be wet. You will be dry. Similarly, the path of spirituality is not assuring that the problems will not come to you, but you will have an umbrella. When there is a rain of problems, when there is a rain of problems, you will have a suit that it won't harm you. So there is no actually material way. We cannot lie to you. We come from such an institution which is based on absolute truth. And what we are supposed to present is a truth to you only. There is a no material way which can protect you from stress. Whether you accept it or not, today, tomorrow, sooner or later, you will actually understand there is a no way which can protect you from stress. But you rise above stress. Stress will be there, but it won't affect you. So that we can become that stress proof. And stress proof that you have to wear a suit of spirituality. And it is not that a feeling, again I say, you have to do some duty towards spiritual life. You have to practice something. And if you practice something, some process of spirituality which will be taught to you gradually, if you remain in this series of the program which has been organized for you, you will be actually taught that, and you'll be nicely mentored for that. And I can give you in writing that if you follow that process, oh, biggest calamities in your life, what to talk about small stress which you may be considering. I say calamities in your life cannot touch you. That much assurance this process gives to us. Next question I'm moving to. When you lose someone very close to you due to death, be it an animal, and the memories and the pain strikes you every single time, how to cope with it? Actually, our mind is like a butter. No, if you have dealt with a butter, no, what happens when you touch butter? The moment you lift butter, touch butter, the finger impressions are embossed upon it. No, similar, our mind nature is like that. It is so soft that any impression which we are accumulating, it's like, no, nowadays we have a memory cards. You click the images and you store it in a memory card. So mind is like a memory card, and it is storing all the observations, all the experiences of the life. And if you have spent a lot of time of your life with something, either mentally, physically, that impression is going to remain with you for a longer duration of time. Now, what happens is, to erase these impressions, you need something superior to it. No, what Gita talking about is param drishtava nivartate, which means we should actually develop the higher taste of the life. Then you will forget the lower taste. So, which means currently our attachment is to the lower subjects. No, please don't mind that that subject may be higher to you, but looking from the spiritual vision, it is any subject less than God is a lower subject. But when you accept the highest taste of the life, you will forget that, which means you need a higher attachment. Currently, our attachment is to such subjects. And please remember this world is temporary. You are making attachment to fragile, and fragile will break one day. And we have so many attachments in the heart to the fragile. How many times you will cry? How many times you will lament? What are you going to do with your life? Do you want to spend your whole life crying only? This is not meant like this. Why are we making our attachment to the fragile? Make your attachment to the permanent. And permanent is the Supreme God. He will never leave you. People of the world will leave you. He will never leave you in any circumstances. People come close to us because they want something from us, but God doesn't come to us to need something from us, but He comes to us to give something to us. Make attachment to the permanent and you won't have to cry. So, this is a small lesson in our life which has been thrown to us to learn that you lose something and you cry, but you make attachment to something which you don't have to lose, even after losing your body, life after life. And that is your relation with the Supreme God. Because life is eternal. Another question is how to find the right company of the people. Well, Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, used to say, when you want to learn to be drunkard, you will find drunkard and you will sit with them. Similarly, when you want to be a positive person, you need positive people, and they come to spiritual organizations like ISKCON. Here you will find the right people only. Why? Because a wrong person cannot remain here actually. No, you may have come when you were wrong, but you can't remain wrong forever. This path will make you transformed completely. So such organizations like ISKCON, such institutions like ISKCON, they are selflessly teaching people how to deal with the life. And here, like-minded people come in such forums. So we should have spiritual friends. We should make friendship with the spiritual people. And they will pull you, push you, hold your hand, drag you to the right process and right path. They will not exploit you. And I'll give you one spiritual understanding. I don't know whether you can digest this or not, but let me tell you. We all were with God one day. We left Him. And if we left the God, will we not leave the people of the world? We will definitely leave anyone and everyone, whoever has come in our life. So those who are living their life for the cause of God, they are the best people to associate with because they are very selfless people. Because they're following a path which is cleansing them and removing their dirt from the heart. Okay, I'm going to the next point. As you said that in our life everything is predestined based on our karma, then what is the meaning of working so hard daily in the hope of achieving something one day? A very valid question has been asked here. See, like if you have seen bank lockers, what happens in a bank lockers is there are two keys made to the bank locker. One key is handed over to the one who has issued the one who has got hired the locker, and one key lives with the manager of the bank. So now when you have to access the locker, what do? You go to the bank, and the bank manager will bring his key and take your key and join both the keys and open the locker for you. Similarly, what the law of karma says, we are destined to get something. Now it is lying there in our destiny. And that is the bank manager's key lying in destiny. Now your hard work is your key, and you bring your key and destiny key, it matches and you get the success. Now you working hard, but it's not there in destiny. Locker will not open. Or it is lying in the locker, it is there, bank manager key is there, but you not working hard, or you not trying to attain it, you may not making efforts, you won't get it. Like Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya of ISKCON movement, he in 65 went to America to preach this message of Gita. He was comfortably, very peacefully, very transcendentally living in Vrindavan and practicing his sadhana, writing Bhagavatam, various literatures. But he decided to preach this message to the English people because the world was following them. And he said, if I make them devotees of the Lord, the whole world will become the devotee of the Lord by following them. So he went to the West. And he went to the West, and with his hard work, he got the success. Had he not gone to the West, how would he have got this success? So success was there in his destiny, but he had to travel all the way. He had to work hard and attain it. So it works hand in hand. So you have to work hard. If it is in destiny, you will get it. If it is not in destiny, don't lose hope. Work for something else which you are fit to attain. Five fingers are not same. We all not same. We all are destined for different things. Don't try to compete. Do your best and live peaceful, happy life. Another point asked is, should there be specific age
Hare
to
Krishna,
fall
Prabhuji.
in? Ji, yes, please.
Prabhuji, can we make this the last question which you
Okay,
are
sure.
reading out?
I have no
Okay.
problem. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Prabhuji.
Should there be specific age to fall in love with a person? Well, Prahlad Maharaj was 5 years old and he was in love with Krishna. And when he was in womb of his mother, there is a science, embryology, which talks about that the fetus in embryo hears everything. Science is proving nowadays this. It is true. So Prahlad Maharaj was in womb of his mother, and she was hearing Bhagavatam from Narad Muni, and he hearing in womb, and he became devotee of the Lord. And when he was born, he had a spontaneous love for the Lord. So this love has no age, loving God, and this can go on forever. But I don't know which love you talking about. As I mentioned in my discussion, actually what we call love is actually lust, and lust has a age. Government of India says adultery is possible only after 18 years. So the lust has a age, but love has no age. And love is only possible with selflessness. But what we call love is a selfishness. That is not love. There is a lot to talk about this. As the time running short, I will end it here. Thank you very much for giving your precious time to hear this wisdom. From what I've spoken is actually in Bhagavad Gita and the books written by Srila Prabhupada. If you read it, you'll be so much benefited with these books and with this wisdom forever. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a detailed Q&A session. And इस amazing Q&A session के लिए भी हम प्रभु जी का एक बार धन्यवाद करेंगे by loudly chanting the Hare Krishna महामंत्र. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank
Do we
you.
have to fill second link? No, no, no. The same. The link is same. The link is
Am I
same.
allowed to leave now?
Yes, Prabhuji, as you may like, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for giving us your valuable time. एंड आप सभी के लिए एक कुछ अनाउंसमेंट्स हैं. जैसे आज का तो बहुत ही अमेजिंग सेशन था और इतने सारे क्वेश्चंस. मतलब जब कोई किसी सेशन को अच्छे से समझ पाता है, किसी नॉलेज को कोई टीचर बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करता है, तो बच्चों में बहुत सारे डाउट्स आते हैं. बिल्कुल वैसा ही था. प्रभु जी ने इतना अमेजिंगली रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट को एक्सप्लेन किया कि आज इतने सारे क्वेश्चंस और सभी प्रकार के क्वेश्चंस और बहुत ही वंडरफुल क्वेश्चंस थे और अमेजिंग आंसर्स हमें उनका मिला. एंड यस बिफोर लिविंग देयर आर फ्यू अनाउंसमेंट्स. सबसे पहले तो आप लोग अपना अटेंडेंस जो है वो प्लीज उसे मार्क कर दीजिएगा. एंड अगर आपने मार्क कर दिया दैट्स वेरी गुड. आप दोबारा मार्क मत कीजिएगा. एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट अनाउंसमेंट इज जो हमारा नेक्स्ट सेशन होगा दैट इज टुमारो और वो होगा एंगर मैनेजमेंट पे. एंड इट इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी 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 अमेजिंग सेशन बिकॉज जो कल हमारे स्पीकर होंगे वो होंगे इस्कॉन दिल्ली टेम्पल के प्रेसिडेंट. He's a big youth preacher. He's a very senior disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and he has been practicing Krishna consciousness for more than 30 years now. And he has so much grip into his spiritual life, and he has served as faculties also for different universities uh, about the dealings of spiritual life. So tomorrow's session is gonna be wonderful. एंड कल जो सेशन होगा हिज ग्रेस मोहन रूपा प्रभु जी के द्वारा जो कि टेंपल प्रेसिडेंट है. सो आप सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है कि कल आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा मात्रा में ज्वाइन कीजिए. जिन लोगों ने रजिस्टर किया है आप उनको बोलिए सब कोई ज्वाइन करें. लेट द स्ट्रेंथ गो फ्रॉम 103 to 301. एंड उस तरह से ये पूरा चैट बॉक्स जो हमारा लिस्ट है यहाँ पे अटेंडेंस वाला और जो ये पार्टिसिपेंट्स की लिस्ट है ये कंप्लीटली फुल हो जाए. सो आप सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है कल आप जरूर आइएगा. और उसके बाद मोहन रूपा प्रभु जी के सेशन के बाद हमारा बहुत ही अमेजिंग सेशन होगा बाय हिज ग्रेस अमोघ लीला प्रभु जी. एंड अमोघ लीला प्रभु जी नीड्स नो इंट्रोडक्शन. ही इज अ अमेजिंग यूथ प्रीचर एंड प्रभु जी के मोर देन आई गेस 1.7 मिलियन सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं ऑन माय एक्स्ट्रा चैनल. सो ही इज अ वेरी वेरी फेमस पर्सन. आई गेस आप लोग उनके बारे में काफी लोग जानते भी होंगे. एंड उनका सेशन अटेंड करने के लिए आई मीन हर जगह बहुत भीड़ रहती है. एंड इट्स वेरी फॉर्चुनेट फॉर अस कि प्रभु जी टाइम निकाल के हमें डिजिटल डिटॉक्सिफिकेशन पे जो कि आई गेस अभी हम लोग डिजिटली यूज कर रहे हैं और इससे जो हमारा अटैचमेंट बन गया है इसको भी क्लीन करना भी सिखाएंगे. एंड इट्स गोना बी अ वंडरफुल सेशन इन इमोशनल मैनेजमेंट दिस होल पैकेज. इस पैकेज में अनेक अनेक अलग अलग टाइप के गिफ्ट्स हैं आप लोग के लिए. आप उसे एंजॉय कीजिए और सीखिए और हमारे साथ बने रहिए. एंड अगर आपकी कोई क्वेरीज आप अभी चैट बॉक्स में लिख दीजिए I'm here to answer, and we have the guests also. We have Umapati Prabhuji also. He is going to be answering some questions if there is any detailed question about the sessions. So अगर ऐसा नहीं है, so we are over with the session today. You can leave. Shila Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace Umapati Prabhuji, do you have some more points to add? Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी
Yes
बस मैं
Prabhuji.
भी यही मैं भी यही बताना चाहूंगा। सबसे पहले तो मैं धन्यवाद करूंगा जतिन प्रभु का और कुणाल प्रभु का एंड और सारे जितने भी जो श्री राम कॉलेज ऑफ कॉमर्स के स्टूडेंट्स हैं एंड अदर कॉलेजेस से आए हुए स्टूडेंट्स हैं, उन सबका मैं धन्यवाद करूंगा। और मैं यही प्रार्थना करूंगा कल के लिए भी कि कल जो है वो बहुत ही अच्छा सेशन होने वाला है हमारे टेम्पल प्रेसिडेंट हितेश मोहन प्रभु जी के द्वारा। तो आप सबसे प्रार्थना है कि जो जो आज आए हैं अपने साथ 10-10 डिवोटीज को, 10-10 फ्रेंड्स को और जोड़े। और अगर आज 103 है तो कम से कम कल हमारे पास 500-600 के स्ट्रेंथ वाला जो ये है, तो ये पर कल पूरा फुल हो जाए। तो और साथ साथ में और ये भी है क्योंकि इस सेशन के साथ साथ हमारा ये जो सेशंस हैं इसका सर्टिफिकेट भी है आपको। तो ये जो है सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स है, आपको सर्टिफिकेट भी मिलेंगे। तो मेरी आप सबसे प्रार्थना है कि आप सब लोग अधिक से अधिक मात्रा में ज्वाइन करें। और जैसा कि प्रभु जी बता रहे हैं, हमें बहुत ही मुश्किल से ये चांस मिला है कि हम अमोघ लीला प्रभु का जो है वो सानिध्य प्राप्त कर सके, उनका संग ले सके। तो हम सब अमोघ लीला प्रभु की वाणी सुनने के लिए आपको हमेशा ही ईगर रहते हैं। तो इसीलिए आप सब जो है उनको उनका एसोसिएशन प्राप्त करने का आपको लाभ मिलेगा। तो वो जो सेशन होगा वो 1 नवंबर को होगा। और 1 नवंबर के लिए अभी हमारे पास 2-4 दिन और भी हैं। तो अपने फ्रेंड्स को, अपने सर्कल्स को, आपके पास जितने भी ग्रुप्स हैं और जितना भी आपका सर्कल है, सर्कल ऑफ कंसर्न जितना भी है आपके पास, उन सारे सर्कल में जो है आप ये सूचना डाल सकते हैं, सबको बोल सकते हैं। और मैं फिर से धन्यवाद करूंगा हमारे SRCC टीम्स का, जिन्होंने हमें ये प्लेटफॉर्म दिया है और जिनकी वजह से हम लोग ये प्रोग्राम्स कर पा रहे हैं। होपफुली हम ये आगे भी प्रोग्राम्स करते रहेंगे, ऐसे ऐसे प्रोग्राम ऑफलाइन भी और ऑनलाइन भी। एंड ओके, तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप सभी का। हरे कृष्णा, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Also, very, very special thanks to the professor संतोष मैडम, जिनके वजह से ये सब कुछ हो पा रहा है एंड उनकी मर्सी है और उनका ये सहयोग है कि आज ये बेस मिला है हमें आत्मन का, और उसके ऊपर हम ये स्पिरिचुअल टॉपिक्स को आपके सामने प्रेजेंट कर पा रहे हैं। थैंक यू सो मच एंड थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि 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 बोल। सी यू टिल नेक्स्ट टाइम। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा, थैंक यू।